Hi, my niblet. How are you tonight? Did you brush your teeth and wash your hair face and say your prayers? Are you all tucked in with Blanky, Lala, and Teddy Bear? Now are you ready, my little sleepy eyes? Let's enjoy story time like stars in the skies. Good night. Love you. Nanna Newf. Tonight, let's read Chip and Dale's New Home. It's by Walt Disney. Chip and Dale's New Home. In the back of Donald Duck's garden, near the lake, was an old tool shed. It was a home of two small chipmunks named Chip and Dale. "It may never need fixin' up," said Chip, "and it may need paintin'," continued Dale. "But it's still home sweet home," they said together. But one day Chip and Dale heard voices outside. It was Donald Duck and his three nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. "May we have the sailboat, Uncle Donald?" said Huey. "We could sail over to the lake," said Louie, "and we could have so many adventures," said Dewey. "It is out of the question," said Uncle Donald. "Sailboats cost too much money." "But it doesn't have to cost a lot of money," said Huey. "We could build one ourselves," said Louie. "Just give us the lumber from that old shed," said Dewey. "Well," said Uncle Donald, "the shed is old, and we don't really use it for anything. I don't see why you can't use the wood to build a boat." The next morning, Huey, Dewey, and Louie began to take down the shed. Bang! Crash! They pulled out nails and knocked down the boards apart. The noise frightened Chip and Dale. As the walls were tumbling down, they ran as fast as they could. Chip and Dale stood in the grass by the tree and watched what their homes were destroyed. "Oh, this is terrible," said Chip. "Yes," said Dale, "but we must try to make the best of it." Later, when the boys had gone, Chip and Dale made a new house among the boards that were all laying on the ground. But day by day, as the boys worked on their boat, there were fewer and fewer boards left. Soon Chip and Dale had lost their home again. One evening, when the boat was finally finished, Chip and Dale went abroad to get a closer look. "Well, this is a different kind of house," said Chip. "But I think it'll do." "Yes, indeed," said Dale. "Let's move in." They found a cozy spot inside the cabin of the boat and moved in with their things. Soon they were fast asleep on the comfortable coil of rope. The next morning, Donald Duck and his three nephews came down to the shore. They were ready to sail the boat. But first Louie painted a name on it. They called the boat the Wild Duck. No one knew that the two chipmunks were on board. Daisy Duck came down to help with the name of the boat. She swung a boat bottle hard toward the bow. "This is the way they name big ships," she said. But she hit Donald Duck's head instead of the boat. For a minute he did not know who he was. Meanwhile, Daisy and the boys climbed onto the boat. "Wait for me," cried Donald. He climbed into the rope and into the boat. When the boat started to move, Chip and Dale woke up. "Help! What's happening?" they cried. They ran up deck. "We're out on the lake," said Chip. Nobody saw Chip and Dale. The boys were busy with the sail, Daisy steering the boat, and Donald Duck gave orders to the crew. "It's fun to sail," said Chip. "But we need sailor suits," said Dale. So when no one was looking, they cut some clothes out of the sail. Then they each made a fine sailor suit. When Donald saw the holes in the sail, he was furious. "We have stowaways on board," he shouted. Wait until I get my hands on them. Chip and Dale were afraid, so they ran down into the cabin to hide. When they got there, they found a table loaded with all kinds of food. "This looks delicious," said Chip. "Let's eat." And so they did. Donald, Daisy, and Dewey were very, very angry when they found their food hadn't been eaten. "This has gone too far," shouted Donald. "I must find those pests." But the 2 little chipmunks were hiding again. Not long after the storm came up, big waves rocked the boat. Daisy, Donald, and the nephews felt very sick. The 2 chipmunks were sick too. "We need some fresh air," said Chip. The chipmunks found a knothole. "Let's try and knock it out," said Dale. 1, 2, 3, push! And they pushed out the knothole, and water poured into the bottom of the boat. "Let's get out of here," shouted Chip. "We'll drown." The bottom of the boat was soon filled with water. "Help, we're sinking," shouted Huey. And he and Dewey had begun to scoop the water out with buckets. "Head for the shore," shouted Donald Duck. Daisy steered the boat in the direction of the land. The storm grew worse. No one knew where they were. Rain poured down in a lightning flash. The waves got higher. Suddenly, one of the waves pushed the boat up on shore. "Let's turn the boat over," said Donald, "so we can get out of the rain. When it stops, we can find out where we are." Huey, Dewey, and Louie helped push the boat over. By the time they were done, they were all very tired, so they crawled up under the boat and curled up to take a nap. But Chip and Dale did not fall asleep. They were angry. "I had enough of this boat," said Chip. "Yes," said Dale, "I do not want to be a sailor." So they started to break up the boat. They kicked it, they broke off pieces, and then they pulled off the nails, pulled them all out. Donald, Daisy, and the nephews woke up the next morning and crawled out from under the boat. When they looked around, they were happy to see that they were home. "The Wild Duck is a good boat," said Donald. "It's brought us right back home where we started from." He patted the bottom of the boat. Bang! Crash! The whole thing fell down around his head because the chipmunks had taken out the nails. Huey, Dewey, and Louie could not help but laugh. But then they said, "Don't worry, Uncle Donald. We were tired of sailing anyways. We'll build you a new shed with the wood." "Well, there's plenty of it," said Uncle Donald. So Huey, Dewey, and Louie started working right away. They built a fine new shed right where the old one had been. When they were finished, they even painted it bright red. It was a beautiful shed with new windows and a new door. As soon as it was finished, Chip and Dale moved in with their things. "At last, we're back in our home, sweet home," said Chip. Doesn't everything look so nice?" said Dale. But several days later, Chip and Dale looked out the window and saw Huey, Dewey, and Louie coming toward the shed carrying their tools. "I think the wood from the shed will make a fine spaceship," said Louie. "Oh, no," said Dale. "Here we go again." The end. Night, night.